Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Here we are going to discuss about Los Angeles protest. Like, why are people protesting in Los Angeles? Why anti-immigration crackdown targets Los Angeles? Who has been detained and how is the country responding? Here's everything you need to know about these protests. Series of immigration raids conducted by federal agents last week has triggered large-scale protests across Los Angeles, prompting President Donald Trump to deploy thousands of National Guard troops and U.S. Marines to the city, a move that has ignited a legal and political confrontation with California's leadership. The unrest began on June 6 when agents from U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, swept through multiple neighborhoods in and around downtown Los Angeles. Over 100 undocumented immigrants were detained in a matter of hours. The raids were part of a broader immigration enforcement strategy that federal officials said aimed to meet a daily national target of 3,000 arrests. Within hours, demonstrators began gathering outside ICE offices and City Hall. The protests grew over the weekend, swelling to thousands of people, immigrant rights activists, students, clergy, and families, demanding an immediate halt to the raids and calling for the release of those detained. The protests are rooted in long-standing tensions over immigration policy in the United States, but have been intensified by what many view as excessive and unaccountable federal action. Los Angeles, a city with a significant immigrant population, has historically resisted federal immigration crackdowns, often positioning itself as a sanctuary city. California Governor Gavin Newsom and Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass have criticized the decision as unconstitutional and politically motivated, and the state has filed a legal challenge to prevent federal troops from performing law enforcement duties on California soil. Protest sites have expanded rapidly across Los Angeles, with significant turnouts observed in downtown districts, immigrant-dense neighborhoods such as Boyle Heights, and along major city arteries like Wilshire Boulevard. Protesters have also gathered outside federal buildings, transportation hubs, and educational institutions, creating both symbolic and logistical disruptions. The response from law enforcement has included curfews in select areas, increased deployment of riot control units, and cooperation between local police and federal agencies. The presence of military personnel and vehicles in public areas has added to the growing sense of unease. A federal hearing on the legality of the troop deployment is scheduled for June 12, and the outcome is expected to influence how similar situations may unfold in other parts of the country. Los Angeles is home to one of the largest undocumented immigrant populations in the United States, with estimates placing the number in the hundreds of thousands. The city has previously adopted sanctuary policies that limit cooperation between local law enforcement and federal immigration authorities. In recent years, Los Angeles officials have declined to participate in federal immigration sweeps and have implemented local ordinances that restrict the sharing of information with ICE. Among the roughly 118 to 154 people detained so far, immigration authorities arrested a diverse mix of undocumented individuals, including long-term residents, day laborers, and those with lapsed asylum or DACA status. High-profile arrests include that of David Huerta, president of the California chapter of the Service Employees International Union, who was jailed on charges of conspiracy against federal authorities. Several detainees were allegedly deported within 48 hours, among them Juan Fernando, a 21-year-old Zapotec speaker from Mexico. The deployment of over 4,000 National Guard troops and 700 Marines to Los Angeles under Title X authority has been criticized by California Governor Gavin Newsom and Mayor Karen Bass, who argue that the federal presence bypasses state jurisdiction. President Donald Trump has defended the actions, describing the protests as orchestrated unrest and stating that the federal government will not tolerate lawlessness. What do you think? Should federal forces have been sent in? Are these protests a cry for help or a threat to order? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one. If you found this video informative, hit that like button, subscribe for more Real Talk breakdowns, and share this with someone who needs to hear the full story, not just the headlines.